Hey guys, today I got a video showing my new Giants and Dragons team. With Siege coming out, I've basically wanted to condense a lot of my runes off my monsters, and running multiple dungeon teams was just taking too many runes now I need to put on monsters I'm going to use for Siege. So what I've done is I've come up with a team that can do Giants and Dragons in about the same amount of time, really. It's both about like a minute and a little bit more. So it's not as fast as my old teams, but it's only like 10 or 20 seconds slower, and I don't really need the fastest teams in the world. Because I don't use Giants and Dragons all too much, but when I want to run them, I at least have these monsters now runed. So first up, we got Susano. Susano I use a lot in Siege, and I use in Guild Wars occasionally as well. So these are the rune set that is on him. He is Rage Broken, Speed, Crit Damage, and Attack. So I still need to get, I think, 2 runes? Nope, just 1 rune. So just 1 rune still needs to get maxed on him. But he hits really hard, and I love the buff on Susano. For that second skill to go off, first skill to go off attack speed. So now he hits really hard on both skills, and he's got an interesting passive, which is the anti-crit by 50% and the resistance by 50%. So if you look, he only has 21 resistance, but in reality he has 71. Alright, so next up is Chilling, who I also use quite a bit. He is on Revenge, Will, and Shield. He is Speed, he is Defense, and he is HP. I could build him attack if I wanted to get better times, but for right now it doesn't really matter because he's used in Siege, and this is a set I want on him. Make sure I got that Revenge, make sure I got the Shield and Will so I can use him with other units against Orions and other teams like that. Next we have Stella, who I barely use, and her runes are garbage, but she's still effective. Because of 33% speed lead, it puts her over that 200 speed mark, so she's still attacking 6 times. But she is Speed, she is Defense, she is Crit Damage, and she is Attack. Very weak runes. Very weak runes, but effective. Alright, Tark, slightly better runes. He's Vamp Blade, he is Speed, he is Crit Damage, and he is Attack. So at least he has 6-star runes. They're not great, again, but it's effective, it works. And then we've got my PvE Galleon. The reason he's my PvE Galleon, he is on Violent, he is on Focus, and he does not have his second skill maxed, which is actually pretty important for Galleons if you want to use him strictly for PvE. He is my 3rd Galleon. I have 2 Shield Will Galleons I use for PvP, and with Siege, having 3 Galleons is really, really nice on the 4-star towers. So he's got max skills besides that second skill, so we get the defense increase or decrease effect on skill 1 and skill 3 to be 100%. But these are his runes here, so that rune still needs to be maxed, but he is Speed, he is Crit Rate, and he is Attack. Alright, so let's go ahead and let's see how these runs go. The reason we're bringing them is this is basically teams I was using before, except I was using a little bit different damage dealers. Now, the weird thing about this team, it's all single target, except it's all pretty fast. So there we go, first wave is down. Susano's my main damage dealer, followed up by Stella, and then Tark is last. Now, the reason I brought Chilling is Chilling brings Speed and Crit Rate buff. So they all got kind of low Crit Rate. That Crit Rate buff's going to increase that. And they all use their skills based off Speed. So all of them are going to gain increased damage from the Speed buff and the Attack buff. So it's kind of like bringing double buffs there. So that's what I like it for. Obviously this Giant's going to slow us down a little bit because we didn't land the defense break off the first time. But there he goes. Alright, boom. Slicing wins, 28,000, no buffs, just defense break on the Golem. Hits so hard, 39,000, skill 1 from Susano. He does so much damage, so much damage. Alright, so there's the defense break. So we've pretty much won at this point now. Group hunt, boom, it doesn't matter who you hit, they've got shield runes. They're gonna survive. Boom, ambush, and the Giant's gone. So, works pretty well. Let's see what our time was. 1:08. So like I said, it's going to be about a minute to a minute and a half runs, but I'm using the same runes for 2 different two different dungeons. So now we're going to go to Dragons, same exact team, and we're going to go ahead and hit play. Now, on Dragons, the only times I've noticed this team has failed is when Chilling derps incredibly often. So the immunity goes out, and Chilling's done like first skill like 3 times in a row, and then when the immunity's out, that's when he decides to buff. And that's the only time I've ever seen this team lose in Dragons. Also, middle can look a little scary. So you want kind of more HP, or you want shield runes on your monsters if you can't just drop the dragon quickly before the tower's attack, which isn't always the easiest thing to do. As you can see, Stella almost dies. She might die. Let's see. Nope, we got the speed recovery. So Stella stays alive. So she's got the shield, and then she'll gain some attack bar off this next stage as well. Boom. Boom. Oh no, she might go down. She might go down. Let's see, is she going to go down? Nope, she's not going to go down. We killed everything too fast. Alright, so boom, boom. You see, he used attack speed slow there, which means I guarantee you he's not going to use his buffs on this turn. Oh, he did. Good. Okay. You were listening to me, Chilling. Boom. There's time to loot. Of course, that goes out right before Susano goes. So there, it gets rid of the immunity. We couldn't get the defense break. Can't get another defense break. Can we get any defense breaks? Song of Nightwind again. Poke. There's a defense break finally. And Stella goes ahead and gets the kill. So let's see how long that took. Minute 19. So they're right around the same amount of time. And again, middle phase looks scary because something almost dies. We'll go ahead and run dragons one more time. So if you're not looking for crazy fast runs, like you're not looking for, okay, I'm looking for 45-second dragons or 30-second dragons, you're looking for something that, okay, maybe I can rune this team up and it's going to do fine. This is all I need, is just these 5 monsters here, and they're all 4 stars and below, which is nice. So we're not looking at, okay, well I've got Kaor, I've got this. Now, Chilling, Galleon, and Stella are obviously all pretty sought after monsters. Obviously, Galleon is the hardest one to get out of all of them because, for whatever reason, Comtuus does not seem to give him out very often. But, oh, there we go. Look, Susano got hit twice again, but once he moves, Dragon's dead. So that's always the scariest part, is that middle phase, and that's where the shield runes actually come in handy from Chilling. Let's see. Are we going to be able to drop that tower before it can kill my Susano? Yes, we are. Boom. Boom. Down. And that's why I like having the second skill of Galleon not maxed, because right there, normally he would start off with a Pirate Strike, but it's on cooldown still because it's a long, or basically it's a longer cooldown. So he uses that first skill first there. Let's see if Chilling will be nice and remove the immunity for us. Boom, immunity's gone. There's another defense breakout. Boom, Susano, game over. So let's see how fast this run was. Minute 15. So pretty consistent there. I have gotten this run to go under a minute, but it's only 59 seconds, so I'm not really like, this is an under a minute run. So it doesn't really count. Let's do Giants one more time, see if we can't get a little bit better time. The Giants one is always, normally, for me, under a minute 10. But again, the point of this is not a, okay, this is a great team you can run early game. This is probably more of an end game. Even though I don't have great runes on these monsters, I do have max towers, which helps. And as you can see, Dragons is a little bit more scary than Giants. The nice thing about this team in Dragons is you don't have to target the middle boss. Since they're all water, they will target the middle boss no matter what. In Giants, you do need to target the middle boss if you want a super fast run. Obviously, it's still going to be successful if they don't target the middle boss. But let's see if we can't get... Oh, full resistance, of course. The resistance golem. I always get branding or like slow on him, but I can never get a defense break that will last a long time. See? Boom. Poke. Slicing wins. But we're not going to get a very fast time because we didn't get a defense break on the golem that was actually used by everyone. But it's a pretty fun team, and again, the goal for this is to consolidate runes that make this happen for Siege, because most of these are not my Siege monsters, only 2 of them really are, with the Susano and the Chilling. So I'm making use of 2 Siege monsters that have a little bit better runes. If you gave Tark and Stella and Galleon, or Chilling, better runes, these would be probably much more consistent runs, but they work pretty well as it is runed right here. Again, though, I do have max towers. I probably wouldn't suggest a team for beginners, but for intermediate to higher level players, if you don't care about your times as much and you're fine with like a minute 15, minute 10, minute 20 teams, then I'd go ahead and go with these teams because why not? It allows me to consolidate runes onto 5 monsters I'm using for dungeons, frees up a bunch of other runes I'm using on other monsters to use for Siege. So this is part of my Siege team building, is stripping some of these monsters I used all the time, like Luna, for example. Lucian, I can now put on different sets for different speeds. I don't have to make sure he's going first anymore. So for me, it opened up a lot of different options. If you still are using those siege monsters in these dungeon runs in better times, I mean, go right ahead. But this is something that worked for me, that allowed me to go, okay, I can save some of these runes now and put them on siege monsters and not be using them in my dungeon team. So yeah, I thought it was something interesting that I decided to do for siege. So hopefully some of you guys like that, and you can use it yourself. So thank you guys for watching. If you enjoyed, like, comment, subscribe, and I'll see you guys later.